for all he asks. The sea can be deep for all the diving. Who comes and stops us in our tracks? Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning. Been a while since I've been able to say that confidently. But good morning. Of course, my internet's working really well today since I got a tech coming. Got one more share to do here. It's Friday. Good job, everybody. You made it to Friday. Or should we say Friday? Friday. I care less what day it is. Friday and Monday. Same day to me. Not really. Changes a little bit on who I see. That's about it. But yeah, recovery doesn't understand what day it is. We had a lot of contributors. We really need to get more people in the group. So today we're going to be in the big book, page 77. Yeah, page 77. I know you see a lot of the same cups of stuff, but well, I don't have 300 cups. You always send me cups. I would be like, so-and-so gave me this cup. Yeah. We're going to be into action. We are in the 8th month, so we're probably going to be talking about that. 8th step. In fact, this will probably be read a lot this month. That's why they put the page in there to tell you where to go read. So, all right, we hit the 3-minute mark. I'm surprised I don't have anybody, but it is Friday morning, so I don't know. This is not my peak time. So, if you're here, please say hello, whether watching live or the rewatch. The part that we're trying to get to here, at the moment, we're trying to put our lives in order, but this is not an end in itself. Right. Let's take that down. Move that over to chat. Get some talking juice. We'll get started. I'm going to go ahead and start at the 7th-step prayer. When ready, we say something like this. My Creator, I'm now willing that you should have all of me, good and bad. I pray to you that you now remove from me every single defect of character which stands in the way of my usefulness to you and my fellows. Grant me strength as I go out from here to do your bidding. We have then completed step 7. Sounds an awful lot like the 3rd-step prayer. It's the same concept, except we're now more aware of our character defects. That's the big difference. Now that we see our character defects, we can say, okay, God, good and bad, take it all. Okay. Is he going to take it all? No. He's going to leave the good stuff. But we don't make that decision. We're going to let God do that. Yeah. Now we need action. We need more action. Without which we find that faith without works is dead. Let's look at steps 10, 8, and 9. Steps 8 and 9. We have a list of all persons we have harmed and to whom we are willing to make amends. We made it when we took inventory. Yeah. You shouldn't have to write your list a second time. Now you might be adding people on. You might add people on, but you've already made your list. Now your sponsor may even have told you, but your grudge list is now your eight step list for your amends, and these are amends you're willing to make. Okay, these are amends that you're willing to make. Hence, we become willing. Okay. We made it when we took inventory. We subjected ourselves to a drastic self-appraisal. Now we go out to our fellows and repair the damage done in the past. We attempt to sweep away the debris from which is accumulated out of our effort to live on self-will and run the show ourselves. If we haven't the will to do this, we ask until it comes. Remember, it was agreed at the beginning we would go to any lengths for victory over alcohol. There's that willingness. Are you willing to do anything to lift this merciless? Are you willing to go to any length is what it comes down to. You may not have to go the whole length. Okay? There are some things in your mind that you think you're going to have to go through that just is not a requirement. I can't think of any of them right now, but I know it's true. Okay. Probably there's still some misgivings. There might be. As we look over a list of business acquaintances, like I said, you might be adding some people on. So look back over the list of our business acquaintances and friends we have hurt. We may feel diffident about going to some of them on a spiritual basis. Let us be reassured. To some people, we need not and probably should not emphasize a spiritual feature on our first approach. You know what? I leave it alone. I'm not an evangelist. No. If they bring up God, I will talk about it. But I'll talk about that stuff on a normal basis. Prejudice. It says we might prejudice against them. Prejudice them against what? This person's probably non-alcoholic. Well, how did you do that? Then I'm probably going to talk about it a little bit. But I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to be the one to bring it up. Unless I know this person really well and I know, who knows? But the spiritual feature is not going to be what I focus on. What I'm going to focus on is I had to change because this is essentially how it all went. My behavior was unacceptable. I was treating everybody horribly. And I got tired of it. So I decided to change and become a different person. Now I'm different. I saw that I hurt you. So I went and made a change. And now I'm coming back to tell you I changed because I hurt you. That's an amends. The only true amends is change behavior. And then you have to go the extra mile. Is there anything I can do? Okay? That's the real focus. Is there anything else I can do within reason that would help you forgive me? Most of the time, they're going to say, no, thank you for coming in. Right? At the moment, we are trying to put our lives in order, but this is not an end in itself. Our real purpose is to fit ourselves to be of maximum service to God and the people about us. Now, do you know how many times they say that in this book? Like 3, 4 times. Yeah, to be of maximum service. Each step kind of qualifies that we're trying to be of maximum service to God and the world around us. Service. It is seldom wise to approach an individual who still smarts from our injustice. See, there it is. We're trying to bring justice where there has been injustice. And announce that we have gone religious. Now, especially in this day and age, you're really going to get somebody's going to say something. In the prize ring, this would be called leading with the chin. Why lay ourselves open to being branded fanatics or religious bores? We may kill a future opportunity to carry a beneficial message, but our man is sure to be impressed with a sincere desire to set the right wrong. He's going to be more interested in the demonstration of goodwill than in our talk of spiritual discoveries. All I get is fucking ads anymore. Even in texting, everything is just now an ad. My life used to be ad free. Now I pay for ads. Tricky bastards. All right. We don't use this as an excuse for shying away from the subject of God. When it will serve any good purpose, we're willing to announce our convictions with tact and common sense. Now, when I talk to other people about what it is that I do, I don't say anything about religion. I stick with spirituality and higher power. I make it the least. Here's the thing. I'm not going to be the guy standing at your door saying, have you heard the good word about Jesus today? Nobody wants an evangelist at their door. Okay. Is my job to bring God into other people's lives? Yeah, it kind of is. It's my job to bring my higher power into other people's lives. You bet it is. Whether they believe or not is not what matters. God's still there. Remember how God carried you? God carried me. He's going to carry them too. Okay? But you may be one of the only true AA members that this person ever meets. You might be, or maybe you're the first one. Tact. We got to have tact, man. You believe in God? Yeah, I believe in God. It's about as far as it's going to go. Unless they want to talk about it, then I'm more than happy to talk about it. I'll be pretty open about it. Right? What I will not do is argue with somebody about whether God exists or anything else. Well, I don't believe in God. Yeah. I see where you're coming from. Because I do. I see where they're coming from. You're not required to believe. Even in AA, you're not required to have. Nope. All right. So when it will serve good purpose, we're willing to announce our convictions with tact and common sense. The question of how to approach the man we hated will arise. Maybe we should stop hating them. Maybe we should stop hating them. Oh. High school orientation is it's fucking August. Is summer vacation already over with? Hi Ingrid. That's all right. I'm kind of getting towards the end here, so it may be he has done us more harm than we have done him, and though may have acquired a better attitude toward him, we are still not keen about admitting our faults. Easier. I found the harder it is, usually the better the outcome. If you use your common sense and have some tact and do it the right way, even these hard ones, man. Nobody would nobody really wants to sit around and hate other people. They don't want to. So why not be the person say, hey, you know what? We don't like each other. But that doesn't mean we gotta fight. That doesn't mean that we can't agree on some common ground. You know, there's nothing better than a couple people getting together and agreeing that they're both full of fucking snakes. Because we all are. We're all full of fucking snakes. And we got to get together and agree on it. Right? We don't need to bring blame. We don't need to bring guilt. We don't need to bring these other things. In fact, a lot of this stuff you should be healed from. You know, that's why I bring emotional sobriety in before 8 and 9, so that we understand that I've got to keep my side of the street clean. That's what matters. It doesn't matter what anybody has done to me. I have got to clean my side of the street. That's all that matters. When you do that, then you are free. Then you are free to be a leader and start to do the right things with your actions. I always watch action. Action, action, action. I will listen to what you have to say, but I'm going to watch you as soon as you're done talking. Yes, as soon as you're done talking, I'm gonna catch your first reaction because I want to know if you're full of crap. Get a little sidetracked here. Okay, I don't have any enemies. No, I got rid of them months ago. I decided no more enemies, man. I don't put people on my shit list. I haven't had my shit list has been gone for like 5 years, man. But if you were on, you guys had one too. If you were on the shit list, oh man, I thought of you a lot. And I don't want that anymore. You know, when I'm like that, I'm not very good at helping God's children. I'm not. So there's some very hard things that you're going to do in this program. And it's going to be worth all the effort. It's a promise I can make. And I can make it because I've been there. There's not much in this world that I haven't, you know. There's some things that I haven't, that I'm naive to, but I've experienced a lot of these things, a lot of things in this world. And that's okay. It's all right. Nevertheless, with a person we dislike, we take the bit in our teeth. It is harder to go to an enemy than to a friend, but we find it much more beneficial to us. Okay, let's use Amber's line. I know it's not really Amber's line, but she brought it back up again, so I'm tossing it her way. It's as hard as you're going to make it. It isn't. I don't know. See, they say that it's harder to go to an enemy to a friend. But when you love deeply, no. I think it's harder to go to the people that I love and admit what I've done wrong. the people I don't like, I don't give a fuck what they think of me. So I'm not disagreeing with the book, but I'm saying that tends to be opposite for me. And it's really situational. Okay. But there we are making it situational. So what do we do in that case? Well, we go back to keep it simple. Now, see, I'm too far. I'm too far. Okay. We gotta catch ourselves and pull back sometimes. It's all right. I do it all day long. We go to him in a helpful and forgiving spirit, confessing our former ill feelings and expressing our regret. And then I have, unless we harm them. Okay. Now I'm gonna bring up I'm gonna bring something up. It's called the particulars. The particulars. Stay away from them. We do not do particulars. Particulars start fights, and they're actually getting ready to cover it here. I was gonna. Hey, I noticed more people showed up, so there are no cat fights on Fridays. It's reserved for Monday and Tuesday only. Yes, that's how I talk to my cats. They listen. Under no condition do we criticize such a person or argue. No. At no point are we to say you did wrong. Okay. Now, what I'm not going to do is approach this person you say, you remember that one time I did this to you and you didn't like it and we kind of got into it. Yeah, you remember? Yeah. No. Now, they may do it. You nod your head and listen. If they bring up particulars, my job is to go, yep. You're correct. Yes, you are. Not reply to that stuff. Just agree with it and move on. Okay? Listen. If they say something to you, repeat it back. I heard you say that it really pissed you off when I stole your shoes. Sorry, I couldn't think of a better one. Okay? And repeat it back. That way they know. Because you're not there for an amends. You're not there for forgiveness. You're there to create justice. You get to create justice now. Why? Because you changed. Because you fucking changed. That's why. You're now a person who has earned the right to call themselves a working member of society. Good job, man. Good job. Simply, we tell them that we will never get over our drinking until we have done our utmost to straighten out the past. That's a great way to put it. So maybe we should listen to the big book instead. We are there to sweep off our side of the street, realizing that nothing worthwhile can be accomplished until we do so. Never trying to tell him what he should do. His faults are not discussed. We stick to our own. If our manner is calm, frank, and open, we'll be gratified with the result. Gratified. That means you will feel grateful, which is much better. How easily I can become misdirected in approaching the 8th step. It's a list. Sorry. It's a list. I wish to be free, somehow transformed by my 6th and 7th step work. Now, more than ever, I am vulnerable to my own self-interest and hidden agenda. That's a really good point. You are open and vulnerable. I never thought of that. It's true. I'm careful to remember that self-satisfaction, which sometimes comes through the spoken forgiveness of those I have harmed, is not my true objective. I become willing to make amends, knowing that through this process, I am mended and made it fit to move forward to know and desire God's will for me. Yeah. It's that action that you put in that tells your higher power that you trust them. And that's why you get your, if you take a look at it, you get your gifts before you do any work. You're actually ahead on your gifts. You get your gifts and then you do the work. But we don't. We think that we're not. Steps 1, 2, and 3 require no. They're just decisions. It's a thought process, and that's it, right? And by the time you get to the third step, some of those promises have already happened. Now you have put a sense of action into your. If you've done things like going to meetings, gotten a sponsor, come on here, listen to somebody like me, things like that are kind of actiony towards your, okay, being accountable is kind of an action, okay. It means you tell people where you're going when you leave the house. Everybody does it, okay. Everybody does it. Well, maybe not, but I do it. I don't care who's in the house. I tell them where I'm going and when I'll be back. I always do it. It's just part of being accountable for me, right? So, you're going to hear about willingness a lot in this program. Willingness is probably the most important thing, but it's indispensable, which means you can't run out of it ever. So, all right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. Peace out and